Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived back home and has reached national capital Delhi as well. Prime Minister Modi returned after we're being told this was a three-nation visit and also very important because remember this is now the visual of Prime Minister Modi arriving in Delhi and clearly hailing the diaspora outreach in Australia. Says a matter of great pride for all Indians. Prime Minister Modi also said that, and as we also saw the visuals of him meeting Aussie leaders and
बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद भारत माता की लोगों का और उसमें
he also said that remember it was about the island nations where that received vaccines during our vaccine Maitri initiative during the COVID pandemic. It was a time of crisis for all, but clearly at this juncture Prime Minister Modi arriving to a grand welcome being received in the national capital Delhi. Of course, there's a protocol when the Prime Minister arrives back, the senior officers and also from the armed forces meeting and receiving him at the airport. But remember, this was a hectic parlays that this three-nation tour, starting with Hiroshima in Japan, then the island nations and then Australia. But of course, the highlight in each one, apart from the official business meetings on trade, investment and other issues, was about the diaspora reaching to Prime Minister Modi. Let's listen in.
जो भी नेता मिलते थे, खास करके G7 समूह जो दुनिया के समृद्ध देशों का समूह है, वे भारत में G20 के जो प्लानिंग हुआ है और उनके देश के लोग उन मीटिंगों में यहां आए हैं, वापस जाकर के उन्होंने वहां रिपोर्टिंग किया है। भारत के नागरिकों ने G20 समूह की करीब 150 से ज्यादा मीटिंगें हो चुकी हैं। 100 से अधिक हिंदुस्तान के अलग अलग कोने में मीटिंगें हुई हैं और दुनिया के 40-45 देशों के प्रतिनिधि उसमें आए हैं और उन्होंने जाकर के वहां जो बताया है, भारत के लोगों ने जिस प्रकार से उनका सम्मान किया, स्वागत किया, ये जो वहां बताया है, उसका इतना प्रभाव उन लोगों के मन पे है कि भारत की इस ताकत की पहचान हमें G20 समूहों की मीटिंग में गए हुए हमारे प्रतिनिधियों के माध्यम से मिली है। हम बहुत अभिभूत हैं। कौन हिंदुस्तानी होगा जिसको गर्व नहीं होगा दोस्तों? कभी-कभी भारत की महान परंपरा के प्रति दोस्तों मैं सच कहता हूं, आप भी हिंदुस्तान की संस्कृति, हिंदुस्तान की महान परंपराओं के संबंध में बोलते समय कभी भी गुलामी वाली दिनों की मानसिकता में डूब मत जाना दोस्तों। हिम्मत के साथ बात कीजिए दुनिया से। दुनिया सुनने के लिए आतुर है, जिज्ञासा है विश्व को। जब मैं ये कहता हूं कि हमारे तीर्थ क्षेत्र पर हमला स्वीकार्य नहीं है, तो दुनिया भी मेरे साथ देती है दोस्तों।
Let's go across now to India Today's Paulami Saha for the latest on that. Paulami, how should one see the meetings that have taken place, the diaspora outreach as well? Three-nation tour, a hectic one, and a lot of issues discussed. Paulami.
That's right. This is being, of course, Pooja, being seen as a very successful tour, three-nation tour of the Prime Minister's, the kind of things that were on the table, the achievements, of course, on the bilateral front, on the diplomatic front, his first in-person meeting with Ukrainian President Zelensky. Then, of course, that mega diaspora event, that almost rockstar-like welcome that the Prime Minister got at in Sydney as well, in the presence of Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. And then, of course, the very high honours which were accorded to Prime Minister when he was in Papua New Guinea by the Prime Minister of Fiji, by the Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea as well. Honours which were given to Prime Minister, which are their highest awards, which they rarely give to, in the case of Fiji, non-Fijians, and in the case of Papua New Guinea, non-residents of Papua New Guinea. But those honours were accorded for Prime Minister Modi. He was, in fact, it was said, and it was an imploration that was made by those like Fiji and by the Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea, James Marape as well, that they see Prime Minister Modi in a situation, in a global order where the West flexes its muscle, or certain other countries like China and Russia flexes its muscle. They see Prime Minister Modi and India as the leader of the global South, and they would want the Pacific Island nations to be almost led by India on the global world, on the world stage. And that is the kind of respect and honor that was accorded to India.
Follow me. I'm curious. All this arrival that has happened in Delhi happened this morning, which means about a short while ago, when we see so many people gathering already in the morning to welcome Prime Minister Modi as well. And the speech that happened just about a short while ago, I see people taking out their mobile phones to record the arrival back home.
That's right. The BJP, of course, pulled out all stops in order to ensure that there was a grand welcome that was accorded to the Prime Minister as he arrived from Australia, completing his three-nation tour. So it was, of course, the BJP President himself, JP Nadda, who was at the airport, who in fact received Prime Minister Modi. There was, of course, Union Minister, who was the Guinea Minister in the Ministry of External Affairs, Meenakshi Lehi, and other MPs as well who were present over there. You heard from JP Nadda over there. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, who was traveling with the Prime Minister, also spoke, and then of course the Prime Minister spoke. So the BJP of course ensured, that the red carpet was in fact laid out for Prime Minister Modi as he arrived in India. Remember that this is a very important week for Puja, for the Bharatiya Janata Party government at the centre, because this is the week when on the 26th of May, which is in fact tomorrow, the government completes 9 years since 2014 in governance. This is the government which will be celebrating its 9th anniversary tomorrow. So it's a big week for the Bharatiya Janata Party. On the 27th, there are several functions. On the 26th, there are several functions across the country as far as the BJP is concerned. And on the 28th is the grand opening of the new parliament building. But, the Prime Minister, of course, is not going to take any stop as he arrives today. He already has two functions that are slated for the day, which is, of course, throwing open the Khelo India University Games and, of course, flagging off the Vande Bharat Express, the first for the state of Uttarakhand from Dehradun to Delhi. So his schedule continues to be packed.
Well, I have to say, there's no rest after returning after that hectic tour. There are going to be some more events that he needs to be a part of. Inaugurations, as Paulomi is telling us about, and we'll be tracking the latest on that as well. Prime Minister Modi back home after the three-nation tour. Paulomi, thank you very much for now.